So this video is probably going to get a shit ton of hate. I can already tell. So we're going to be talking about Genshin. I don't know what I'm going to title this, so I'm just going to kind of wing it and kind of go with it. Let's see. I don't know what the title of this video is going to be called. Something Genshin sucks. Something blah blah blah. You know. And it'd be funny if it would be kind of ironic if I had like Genshin playing in the background or some shit. It would be pretty funny. But yeah, let me rant about Genshin for a bit here, because like I think that Genshin, I have fallen out of love for Genshin, and I think that a lot of people have fallen out of love with Genshin. But I'm not here to talk about like the obvious stuff. I'm going to be talking more or less about, or at least I'm going to try to stay coherent here with this rant here, because like with the last rant, I kind of I was all over the place and I wasn't really thinking that much when I was talking. So with this one, like I have like three main points. The first one is obviously the development of Genshin being kind of like mid compared to every other MiHoYo product that they have. It's just kind of crazy that Genshin seems to be like the black sheep of MiHoYo, and the fact that like it seems like MiHoYo just does not like Genshin at all. And I can see why, right? But the other reason is just like the rabid fan base, which I can kind of sympathize, I can kind of understand to a certain extent, right? Because like, people grew up playing this game during, COVID and shit, and I'm like, okay, I can sympathize with that. But, it's 2024, dude. Like, come on, like, grow the fuck up, But the third reason, and then the third point, right, is the future of Genshin. And how I just don't really see much of a future in this game, and that I personally am probably gonna just drop the game after Natlan. I think I'm gonna drop it, because like I don't really care about Snezhnaya. I don't really care about the other regions anymore, and frankly, I'm just kind of getting sick and tired of Genshin, because like at the end of the day, there are better gacha games out there. I think that if you wanted to have a better experience, just go play the other gacha games. So, first point is Genshin being the black sheep of MiHoYo. The funny thing about it is, like, I know there was somebody, I don't remember who made this joke, right? But somebody did mention that, like, Genshin is that one guy in the family where, like, everybody else, all the other siblings, they have their shit together, they got their lives together, they have a family, they have a bright future ahead of them, right? And then you have Genshin. Genshin is that one guy who's just like, okay, he's just living with his parents, doesn't have a job, doesn't have a really a skill set that he can use, and he's just kind of like there, maybe jacks off a little bit, and then just falls asleep, and then gets drunk and shit. He's kind of like he is like the black sheep, the MiHoYo games, and you can easily feel it, because like you could feel that, like, man, this game has been neglected for a long time, and I genuinely don't understand why they would neglect it for this long, especially because it's like, hey, this is the biggest IP in your catalog. Why the fuck are you not taking care of it? Why are you not taking care of the audience? And this is gonna lead into the zealots of the fucking Genshin cultists, as I like to call them, and I'll rant about them later. But like, for the most part, like, I genuinely don't understand, in a company standpoint, why you would allow this to happen to Genshin. For example, like the four anniversaries that you've had, they're absolute fucking dog shit. Like, dude, it's like, I can't believe, and I can't believe they got away with that shit. Like, for me, like, this is not my first Genshin, this is not my first gacha game. Like, I played Fate Grand Order, man. Fate Grand Order, like, despite its gacha mechanics, dude, they were super generous about, like, rewards. They were generous about, like, anniversary. They always made anniversaries a big fucking deal. And that's always been the case with gacha games. But Genshin is the one gacha game where I cannot believe they just gave the middle finger to their audience and being like, all right, sucks to be you, bitch. Now give us some more money so that we can make more quote unquote more content. And by more content, I mean we're just gonna probably trickle in some shit that you're gonna love, and you're gonna eat it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love the shit that we're gonna make, and you're gonna fucking eat it. You little piggies, you pay piggies. And that's how it feels. Eventually, people will get sick and tired of this bullshit and just like fucking go away from it. Shit, I can already fucking tell this is gonna be a bad video. This is gonna be it's gonna be the most disliked video on this channel so far. But we're already gonna commit to it. We're gonna commit to it. I hope the zealots are are not watching. Speaking of the cultists, right? The Genshin cultists. I swear to God, I haven't seen a group of people dick riding so fucking hard for a company in a long time. The last time I've seen people dick ride a fucking company so hard was Rooster Teeth. I remember the Rooster Teeth cultists. They were fucking cultists, by the way. Rooster Teeth zealots who couldn't let like actual genuine criticism for a show be heard, because that's hurting the creators' feelings. That's hurting the creators. Like shut the fuck up. They're a multi-million-dollar company. Like I think we have the right to complain about this shit. But okay, enough ranting about Rooster Teeth. That's a whole different video. But for Genshin, it's very similar. That like you have a group of kids who are like sucking the meat of Genshin Impact, not MiHoYo. I want to make that clear, because at least with MiHoYo, it's like you can make the argument, oh well, they're dick riding MiHoYo, so they must like you know, Honkai Star Rail or ZZZ. No. They specifically love sucking the dick of Genshin Impact. Like I genuinely don't understand what. Or okay, that's not true. I know exactly why. I mean, like a lot of people who were in the pandemic era, right, grew up with this game. They grew up with it. It was like kind of a comfort for them. And for the most part, I understand. I can sympathize with that. However, right, you need to fucking grow the fuck up, man. Like, dude, there are better video games out there. On top of that, there are better gacha games out there that don't treat you like shit. So why the fuck are you sticking to this fucking sticking with this guy when there are objectively better options out there, especially because like MiHoYo has made better games than Genshin Impact. Like ZZZ has better combat, has, I would argue, better character designs than MiHoYo, has like a much more casual view, like a much more casual vibe to it than Genshin. With ZZZ, it's like, dude, I feel like it feels like a Persona game, but like it feels more casual than that. Honkai Star Rail, dude, there's a fucking autoplay button. Like literally there is an autoplay button where the game literally plays itself, and it's like, oh okay, like hey, you can go. It feels more like a traditional gacha game where you go in, you do your dailies, you do like your you know, your resins, and then you get out. That's it. That's what it is. And that's what I like about Honkai Star Rail, is because it you know, it feels more like a traditional gacha game, and that's where I'm comfortable with. With ZZZ, it's not my cup of tea, but I know what I feel like I know what they're going for, and I can kind of see the audience for it, right? But with Genshin, I'm like, who the fuck is this catering to? At this point, I'm like, I don't know who the fuck this is catering to, because like at this point, it's like you're catering to people who either are so dedicated to this fucking game that they practically have become cultists, or it's children. But like even then, I'm like, bro, if you're a fucking child, then go fucking play a different game. Like, dude, go fucking play like ZZZ or some shit, you know? Fucking play Fortnite. Like genuinely, like play literally any other free game out there that isn't Genshin, because like I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not worth it. It is not worth the mental fucking headache of playing this fucking game. Side tangent. Let's talk about my experience with the game, right? So I started pretty late. I got into the game around 2023, and like for the most part, I thought, oh, it's pretty fun. I wanted to understand what was the hype about this game. Like why was people like, you know, dick riding this game so fucking hard, right? And for the most part, it was fun. Like I skipped through Mondstadt and Liyue. For the most part, like I didn't really pay attention. I just kind of skipped it. And then when I finally got to Inazuma, I started paying attention to the story, and I was like, oh, okay. Once I finished Inazuma, I realized that like, oh yeah, okay, I can understand why people like this game. This game is kind of fucking cool. It really is. It really does feel like I'm playing an anime. Now, was Inazuma perfect? No, it wasn't. Like, I genuinely do not understand what the fuck happened with Inazuma. Like, the beginning was pretty good, the middle was fucking horrible, and the ending was pretty solid. So, like, I don't know what happened in the middle, but it didn't stick the landing. But you know what? It's the third reason, right? It's the third region. Like, I'm not gonna be fucking nitpicking about that. And then you get to Sumeru. Sumeru is super hit or miss for some people, right? In terms of lore, I like Sumeru, but everything else is fucking ass. Like, holy fuck? The desert? That should not have been a region. That should have been fucking banished to the Shadow Realm, man. That shit should not have existed. I fucking hate the desert. This little fucking patch. Hold on, I'm gonna probably show a fucking clip of this. But like this little patch, this little fucking side quest where you have to unlock this little fucking patch of dirt on the Sumeru map. Fuck this shit. It's what, like an 11-hour quest? Fuck that shit. I don't want to fucking do that. I don't want to do that shit. And the fact that there wasn't a skip button. There's no skip button for this shit. So I had to fucking spam the goddamn mouse button just to like speed through this shit because I don't want to fucking listen to stuff that I don't really care. If you didn't voice act it, it's not important to me, in my opinion. And then you get to, like, okay, and you get through that bullshit, right? And after you get through Sumeru, right, you go to Fontaine. Fontaine is my favorite region, by the way. This one is peak. This region is fucking peak, in my opinion. The story was phenomenal. It was so fucking good. The Archon, every character in Fontaine was gorgeous. It was great. They had their arc, they had their character arcs, and I loved it. The region for the most part was pretty okay. Like, I understand that underwater levels are not everybody's cup of tea, and I totally understand that. But like for me, it was pretty good for the most part. Like, yeah, the underwater shit was there was some underwater shit that was kind of tedious, and also the water diaper was fucking stupid. But for the most part, it wasn't that bad, especially compared to Sumeru. Like, Sumeru was fucking ass. But, like, Fontaine, fucking gorgeous. I love it. It's beautiful. And then you get to Natlan, and Natlan's, like, alright. It reminds me a lot of, like, Sumeru in, like, the worst ways. Like, it's a lot of verticality, and I don't like verticality. I think verticality is kind of ass. Especially because, like, they literally give you a character that is able to climb, but she doesn't climb as fast as, like, say, a regular climber. Like, you're better off just getting, like, Kazuha and just kind of, like, gliding your way through most of the stuff. And the fact that they, that's like another side rant, right? Another side rant is that the fact that they gave you a character in order for you to traverse this world. But I'm like, bro, why didn't you just make that into a fucking, like, item? Like, why do I need to fucking have a separate character that doesn't really synergize with any other team that I have at the moment, right? Why would I need to use this character when you could have just like given us like a tool or some shit, right? But fuck me, right? I guess like I'm just a pay piggy, right? I'm a dumb little pay piggy that I have to just accept what Genshin has offered me. So where was I going with this? Oh yeah, the rant. Yeah. So like I was talking about my my experience, and I think it was Fontaine that finally broke the camel's back for me, right? Before that, right, I've been playing through the game. I got through 2023, 2024, played through the game, and I got burnt out with the game because like farming for primo gems in this game is fucking ass, like straight up ass. Like, I understand why people would fucking pay money for this game because like farming for primo gems is so ass. It is straight up dog doo-doo. Like, getting a 10 pull is like, it takes like weeks of work just to get a fucking 10 pull. Whereas like with Honkai or with ZZZ, dude, it takes about like a couple of minutes. It takes about like a couple of hours to get like one 10 pull. But like at least it's manageable. Whereas like with Genshin, you have to fucking like traverse the world. You have to fucking do all this shit. And I'm like, dude, I don't got fucking time for this shit, dog. Like, this ain't 2020 anymore, man. We're not in COVID. I got other shit to do. So, like, again, like, they haven't fixed that problem. Also, the rewards are fucking dog shit. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah, the Primo Gems were fucking dog shit. So, like, I got burnt out with the game. Trying to get as many Primo Gems as possible. Like, I was trying to be free to play, right? Most of the time. But, like, there were times where I'm like, okay, you know what? I gotta swipe, bro. I gotta swipe that credit card and get that character. But then, like, I feel like absolute dog shit for having to have to swipe the card and get this character. You know what I mean? And don't even get me fucking started with the gacha system. Fucking A. Dude, like, when I started playing this game, dude, I lost every single 50-50 when playing this game. And I was like, it felt like shit. It felt like every single time I was playing this game, I felt like it didn't feel good. Like the Genshin, the gacha mechanic, the gacha did not feel good. When I played Honkai Star Rail for the first time, I was just like, all right, my expectations were already pretty fucking low. I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm gonna get this fucking character, right? There's no fucking way I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna lose the 50-50, right? Lo and behold, I won the 50-50. And then I kept winning the 50-50. And now for every once in a while, I'll lose the 50-50. But, like, that was okay. It was okay. Like, I didn't mind losing the 50-50 because, for the most part, I got pretty lucky for all my pulls. So, for some fucking reason, Genshin was like, wait, why the fuck am I playing Genshin? I feel like the investment in, like, HSR is objectively better than Genshin. Genshin, there is no end game. The gacha doesn't even make any sense. The gacha ruins, actually, no joke, genuinely ruins the experience of playing the game. And I'm gonna get into that rant later, a little bit later. But where was I going with this? Like, the gacha mechanic genuinely ruins the game for most people. Like, what do I mean by that, right? Okay, let's just get to that point. So, I think the breaking point for me was trying to get Furina, right? Furina, I have saved up all of my Primo Gems from, like, I think Sumeru, from, like, the end of Sumeru to 4.2, which is when Furina first debuted, right? And for the most part, I was able to get C2 Furina, no problem, right? However, I wanted her weapon. I don't know why, I don't know what came over me, but I really wanted her weapon, just because of the aesthetic of the weapon itself, but also because, like, it's so busted on Furina that you kind of need it. Like, you don't technically need it, but it was like, alright, I might as well go get it. So I waste a couple of Primo Gems of whatever I had left, and I didn't get it. And the fact that this was before, like, they did there was like a 50-50 chance of getting it, but there was like more like a 75-25 chance of getting it. Like, if you remember the old days of the epitomized path of the weapon banner, you understand my plight here. So I'm like, okay, fuck, I don't have any more Primo Gems, and I don't have any more, whatchamacallit, I don't really have time to, like, actually, fucking farm for more Primo Gems. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'm gonna fucking swipe. So I swipe my credit card, and I kid you not, this was like the breaking point. This was like, if I had to describe this moment, this is like in hentai tags, it would be mind break. I fucking mind broke because I lost the 50-50 twice in this fucking thing. So I literally had to max out the fucking epitomized path, and by the time I maxed it out, I ran out of Premium Gems. So I'm like, oh my god. Oh my fucking god. So at that point, I already maxed it out. I have to swipe. I have no choice to swipe, because at that point, I'm like, well, all of that would have been gone for naught, right? So I swipe, I get the fucking weapon, I feel like fucking shit. And I'm just like, I know somebody in the comments are gonna fucking clown on me with this shit and be like, you're such a fucking dumbass. Like, what? Like, you have no sense of self-control or whatever, and yeah, I get it. Like, yeah, I'll put on the clown makeup, I'll put on the clown makeup and say, yeah, I fucking swiped, I fucking, I paid for a gacha game, all that jazz and stuff like that. But that's not the point, right? That the point here was that the experience of the gacha game was so fucking horrendous that broke me into the point where, like, I just don't want to play this game anymore. Also, the fact that now that I had her weapon, now that I had Furina at C2, by the way, and I had her triple crowned, she was stupidly busted. Like, she is so broken to the point where, like, I don't even see the point of, like, I don't really see the point of, like, getting other characters, because, like, Furina is just objectively busted. Like, she is stupidly broken. So, like, at that point, like, yeah, it not only broke me, like, mentally, but it also broke my spirit to just keep playing the game, because I'm like, at this point, I've beaten the game. Like, Furina is just busted. Furina is so busted. And then don't even get me started. When I got Nouvelette, right, later on, I got Nouvelette. At that point, like, I just didn't want to play the game anymore, because, like, in my mind, I've already beaten the game. I have the 2 strongest Hydro DPSs in the fucking game. I have, like, the best supports in the game. I have Nahida, which is the best Dendro in the game. So at that point, I'm like, why am I fucking playing this game? Why am I playing this game? This game is, like, in my mind, I'm like, all right, I just don't want to continue playing this game, but, like, I have to, because, like, I'm invested in the story, but even the story is kind of, like, not really saving it for me, man. Like, this is before, like, Penacony finished in Honkai Star Rail, and man, Honkai Star Rail, dude, that shit was fucking fire. Penacony was fucking fun. It was so cool, and it was very unique in its theming, in its storytelling and just like the way you can like switch through different perspectives, which I love the fact that they adopted that from Penacony and that you can switch perspectives. Because like I don't like the fact that we're only stuck towards the traveler's perspective and not like, hey, can we like see somebody else's perspective and stuff like that, you know? Yeah, so that's my experience with Genshin. I think for the most part, I think it wasn't great. It wasn't fun. I think a lot of the stress that I got from playing that game was trying to get enough Primo Gems to fucking roll the gacha, you know? And the gacha experience was so fucking ass that it broke me. It genuinely broke me. To the point where, like, when I played Honkai Star Rail, like, it was like a breath of fresh air. Like, there was, like, no way... I thought it was like, okay, maybe it's just me, right? Maybe it's just me. And just to double check, just to make sure that it wasn't just, like, Honkai Star Rail or, like, ZZZ, right? ZZZ, I also got lucky with the gacha in ZZZ. ZZZ, they gave me a lot of stuff that I could use to make, like, a pretty competent team, right? Like, I can make a pretty decent team. I went back to, like, Fate Grand Order, and I did a couple of spins, and I was like, bro, wait, hold on, wait a minute. It's not just me. It's Genshin. It's genuinely Genshin. Genshin's gacha is so fucking trash that it made me forget that, like, oh yeah, wait, there are actual better gacha games that actually kind of don't, kick you in the balls whenever you lose. Because, like, everybody... Okay, and here's another mini rant, right? The 5 stars that you lose to the 50-50 to, they're kind of mid. They're very, very mid. And that's unfortunate because, like... The thing about like Diluc or Mona or Tignari or any of those characters is that they're kind of okay, but like once you get a better set of characters, like you don't really use them. Like I think the only good character that you can genuinely use is Tignari, and Tignari is like once you get a better, like once you have like Nahida, right? If you have like Nahida or Alhaitham or like any other better Dendro DPS dude, like Tignari is like pretty much like, yeah, you don't really use Tignari that much, right? Mona doesn't really get that much use considering that like she doesn't really have like her niche is very niche, like very, very niche, and she doesn't have that much utility. And then you have like Kaching, Diluc, and Deha. They're pretty decent DPS, but like compared to like every other DPS out there, it's like, nah, it's not even close. And then Chi-Chi is Chi-Chi, like what are you gonna fucking do with Chi-Chi? Like, Yeah, so again, like it just feels like ass. Like it just feels so bad to lose in this game. Like it feels so unnecessarily bad. Like you didn't need to make it that bad. Where it's like okay, like with Honkai, right? With Honkai, some of the characters that you get in the banner in the if you lose the 50-50, like there are some characters that are actually still genuinely still good. Like they still hold up. Now I know it's still like it's still a newer game and whatnot, and I understand that, but like with like say for example Fate Grand Order, they added extra characters into the standard banner so that hey, even if you lose the 50-50, even if you lose like the 50-50, right, you still got like a decent modern server, like a modern character, like it's not just it's like an old character that has been completely has been completely power crept out of the game, Yeah, so the gacha's ass. My experience with the game has been relatively not good. Like, story-wise, it was pretty cool for the most part. Paimon's fucking annoying as fuck. Like, Jesus Christ, she was adorable in, like, the first 2 arcs, and then I think it was Inazuma where I'm like, alright, dude, she's getting stupidly annoying. Like, shut the fuck up. And then, Paimon was a pain in the ass. The story is overall pretty good, but, like, it's not enough for me to keep going. Like, at this point, I might as well... Like, after Natlan, I think I'm gonna just drop the game. Because, like, I just don't care about Shneznaya, dude. And I really don't care about the end. Like, I'm beginning to, like, become very apathetic about the game in general. Also, so going back to the fan base, right? Let's go back to the fan base. The fan base... I genuinely think that they're a bunch of cultists. I think they're very unhinged weirdos that need to fucking go touch grass and probably see a therapist, because Jesus Christ, that is very unhealthy to be, thirsting for a fucking 2D anime character so fucking hard. And I'm not just talking about the males. I'm talking about females, dude. The female Genshin players are some of the most unhinged motherfuckers I've ever seen. Like, I have seen some of the tweets that some of these Genshin zealots post, man, and it's like so fucking unhinged. Then I'm like, wow, I like. As I said before in the previous rant about like Twitter, like I used to be on Tumblr. I've seen a lot of unhinged shit on Twitter or on Tumblr, right? But like not to this fucking degree, dude. Like this is like a next level fucking degree of like unhinged. Like there would be accounts where people would LARP as the characters. Some people would like pretend that these characters exist and shit. And I'm just like, dude, you need to fucking touch grass, dude. This is not healthy. This is not fucking healthy, man. This is not healthy, dude. You need to fucking touch grass, dude. So yeah, I mean, Genshin cultists, they're probably gonna show up on this video, say you're wrong, Genshin is awesome, blah blah blah, you know, all that jazz. I don't give a fuck. It was the future of Genshin, right? So, and I think this kind of ties in, and I think this is probably a perfect way to end the little Genshin rant I have here. I know it's very incoherent, and I probably missed a lot of fucking details, but I just wanted to get this off my chest because, like, the future of Genshin, I genuinely think that this. I mean, it's not gonna die. Like, I genuinely don't think it's gonna die. I think it's gonna keep going till the very end, until it gets to the very end. But by the time it gets to the very end, I think a lot of its relevancy will kind of just dither away. Like, right now, we're kind of in a boom where there are a bunch of gacha games that are eventually gonna come out that look so fucking cool. And I'm kind of looking forward to playing them. Like, I played Wuthering Waves, and for the most part, it's pretty good. Like, it's Genshin, but faster. It's Genshin, but objectively better and faster. But, like, in terms of gameplay. But, like, in terms of story, fuck, man, it's not that great, man. I'm gonna be honest. The story is kind of mid as fuck. The one cool character they fucking made into a boss fight, and then they put him in prison and never show him up again. Like, dude, fucking, what was his name? Jack? I think his name was Jack or something. He was like such a cool fucking villain. And I was like, bro, okay, wait, you almost got me invested in the story. But then as soon as they fucking took him away to jail, I was like, all right, I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't fucking give a fuck. Yeah, and then, there are other games coming out that I think will definitely have a place to shine, right? And again, as I said, Genshin has a place. I don't think Genshin's gonna disappear anytime soon. That's kind of fucking stupid to say, like, oh, it's gonna die or anything like that. But I definitely will say it is definitely dwindling in popularity. Their characters are not. I'm gonna be honest, right? Like, I haven't seen a Genshin. Like, I haven't seen any. Okay, this is going on a little weird tangent here. Like, you can tell the popularity of certain characters based on the how do I say this? The putang or the not safe for work art of these characters, right? And I haven't seen any like NSFW of like the newer characters that came out for for Natlan. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. Now, maybe it's not popping up on my feed or whatnot, but I'm just like, man, it kind of sucks. Like, I've tried checking Pixiv, I've tried checking Newgrounds, other websites and stuff like that. For the most part, like, I don't really see that much. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just I'm just not trying hard enough, right? Maybe that's a possibility. But right, you can't deny that the fact that there's not that much not safe for work content on this shit. It's like, all right, well, that's definitely not a good sign. It's like, imagine if Overwatch, like, the decline of not safe for work, let's just say Overwatch corn went down, right? Like, if people stopped making Overwatch corn, I'm like 99% sure Overwatch would go under. Like, there's no way it would sustain itself without the corn. Corn is everything. Yeah, the future of Genshin. I don't know. Like, to me, I think that Genshin still has a future. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be a very bright future. I think it's going to be declining over the years, but it's not going to like disappear, or it's not going to like fall off L plus ratio style. Like, I think it's still going to be around for a couple more years until they finish the remaining arcs and stuff like that. But after that, I have no idea what they're going to do. yeah, with Genshin, like, and the thing is, like, I don't really plan to stick around with the ending of Genshin. Like, originally I was like, all right, I'm willing to stick it out to the very end. Nah, it's like, nah. Then I changed my mind. I'm like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm not gonna stick around to see the end here. I just kind of want to move on and do something else. Probably stick with HSR, because I think HSR is just a lot more easier, just to like, it's easier for me for my schedule because I'm busy, and I think it's just way easier because like I can just get in, get out, and do my dailies and then just be done with it. So yeah, I mean, for Genshin, I don't think. Yeah, so I think that's my little rant about Genshin. I think I probably missed a couple of things about my experience with Genshin, but for overall, like, it's mostly just been like, yeah, it's not been great, but it's I can understand why. Like, I can sympathize why people like this game, right? I can sympathize with why people like this game. I can kind of understand why people have like a zealot nature to this game, like they want to defend it, and I can understand this one. I genuinely cannot understand why people are dick riding so fucking hard on Genshin's dick so hard. Like, it's not. They're not even fucking dick riding MiHoYo. They're just dick riding Genshin specifically. I don't know why, and I'll never. That one will baffle me to the end of the earth, right? To the end of my life, I will never understand that. Why you would fucking defend one franchise, just one fucking franchise, so fucking hard, and not look at the bigger picture, But whatever. This video has been going on for way longer than the fucking the Twitter rant. Like, holy fuck, I'm looking at it. It's like around 35, 36 minutes already. Probably going to cut it down to like 20 something minutes or whatever. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this rant. I definitely missed a couple of things. I might make a part 2 if I miss something. I hope I don't make a part 2, because I can already I can already tell that this is going to be a very negative video. Like, I can tell that there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, you're a fucking moron. Genshin is the best game ever. I'm going to suck Genshin's dick so fucking hard. Fuck you, you little fucking gremlin piece of shit. Fuck you. Yeah. So that's my little rant. What do you think about Genshin Impact? Have you had the same feelings too? Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me about it in the comments down below. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I know the analytics, guys. I see the analytics. You need to fucking subscribe to this channel and the other channel, my main channel, so I can get my fucking play button, guys. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please, guys. I know I called you guys assholes in the last 2 videos, but like, come on, do a homie a favor, man. Like, do me a solid, man. You gotta kiss the homie goodnight. I kiss you guys goodnight at the end of the videos. The least you could do is fucking subscribe to me. Okay, that I'm not asking much. I'm not asking much. I'm just saying, just fucking subscribe. Okay, bye. Love you.